Over 60, 5 powerful fruits you must eat to flush out kidney toxins overnight. If you're over 60, listen closely, because this could be the reason you keep waking up puffy, tired, and heavier than you went to bed. Your kidneys might be losing their filtering power right now, and you have no idea. Here's the scary part. Kidneys don't scream at you when they're struggling. They don't give you sharp pain like a warning bell. They just quietly slow down. So what does that look like? You wake up and your body feels heavy for no reason. Your feet look a little swollen by the end of the day. You're up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom. Your blood pressure keeps creeping higher every time you check it. You feel wiped out even on days you barely did anything. And most people brush it off. Hey, it's just old age. But what if it's not old age at all? What if your body is trying to warn you that your kidneys need help right now before things get worse? Here's something doctors want more people to understand. Don't wait until your kidney numbers come back bad on a lab test, because by the time those numbers look bad, the damage has usually been building quietly for months, sometimes years. Now here's the good news, and it's simple. There are 5 fruits, common ones you've probably already got in your kitchen, that may help your kidneys flush out waste while you sleep. They may help calm inflammation, fight off cell damage, and protect the tiny filters inside your kidneys that keep your whole body clean. But here's the catch nobody talks about. Most people are already eating these fruits, and still doing it wrong. They juice them and toss out the fiber that actually helps. They grab dried fruit packed with sugar. They snack on them right before bed. Or they eat the skin without washing off what's sitting on it. One small habit like that can turn a fruit that's good for your kidneys into one that makes your kidneys work overtime. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 fruits worth adding to your routine, exactly how to eat each one the right way, and the mistakes to stop making starting tonight. Stick around for number 1, because it's sweet, it's easy to find at any store, and the part almost everyone throws in the trash might be one of the most valuable pieces for your kidneys. Let's talk about fruit number 5, and don't let the size fool you. Blueberries are tiny, but they might just be one of the biggest allies your kidneys have. If you're over 60 and you've ever worried about your blood pressure, your blood sugar, or that nagging feeling of swelling and inflammation, this little berry deserves a spot in your daily routine. Here's why blueberries stand out. They're naturally low in sodium, phosphorus, and potassium. And that matters more than you'd think. If your kidneys aren't filtering the way they used to, your body can start struggling to keep those minerals balanced. So picking foods that go easy on your kidneys instead of piling more work onto them becomes one of the smartest things you can do for yourself. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That deep blue, almost purple color you see on a blueberry isn't just pretty. It comes from a compound called anthocyanin, and this little pigment is doing some serious work behind the scenes. It may help calm down oxidative stress in your body, lower inflammation, and protect your blood vessels from damage. And that connects directly to your kidneys, more than people realize. High blood pressure is often called a silent enemy, and for good reason. It sneaks up on you without any warning signs. When your blood vessels take damage, the blood flow to your kidneys can suffer too. Picture your kidneys like 2 incredibly fine strainers, working around the clock to filter your blood. Now imagine that blood is flowing through under too much pressure, day after day, year after year. That strain adds up, and it wears those strainers down over time. There's another reason blueberries keep coming up in conversations about senior health, and it has to do with your urinary tract. Some of the natural compounds inside blueberries may make it harder for bacteria to grab onto the walls of your urinary tract. That might not sound like a big deal, but for older adults, a urinary tract infection can hit hard. It can leave you feeling drained, weak, foggy, and it adds extra stress onto kidneys that are already trying their best to keep up. But here's something a lot of people get wrong, and I really want you to pay attention to this part. How you eat your blueberries matters just as much as eating them in the first place. Skip the cooked versions when you can, and reach for them fresh and whole. Organic is even better if it's within reach for you. When you're picking out blueberries at the store, look closely. You want berries that are a deep blue, or that rich bluish-purple shade. If you notice a light, dusty coating on the skin, that's actually a good thing. It usually means the berries are fresh and properly ripened. Stay away from any that look pale, whitish, greenish, or soft and mushy, because those aren't going to give you the same benefits. And if the blueberries you bought aren't organic, please don't skip washing them. Give them a good rinse under clean water, or let them soak for a few minutes in water with a small pinch of baking soda. Then rinse again before eating. This step really matters because pesticide residue is just one more thing your body and your kidneys would have to deal with. As so many wise folks like to say, better safe than sorry. The best way to enjoy blueberries is simple. Toss a small handful into your morning oatmeal. Snack on them plain, or eat them just as they are. What you want to avoid is turning them into something loaded with sugar, like a syrupy dessert or a sweetened topping. Blueberries do their best work for your kidneys when they stay exactly how nature made them: whole, simple, and clean. You've heard this saying your whole life: an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Your grandmother probably said it to you, and honestly, she was onto something, especially when it comes to your kidneys. Apples are fruit number 4 on our list. And here's the twist. Most people are eating them the wrong way without even knowing it. They're throwing away the exact part that does the most good. Let's start with why apples made this list in the first place. They're everywhere. They're cheap, and they're one of the easiest fruits for older adults to fit into daily life. On top of that, apples are naturally low in sodium, potassium, and phosphorus, which puts them right up there as one of the friendliest fruits for kidneys that aren't working at full strength anymore. But the real magic of an apple isn't just that sweet, crisp bite. It's the fiber, specifically a type called pectin. Pectin is what's known as a soluble fiber, and it does some pretty amazing things for your body. It supports your gut, helps keep your blood sugar steady, and can even help you maintain a healthy weight. Now you might be thinking, what does any of that have to do with my kidneys? More than you'd guess. Diabetes, extra weight, and high blood pressure are 3 of the biggest things that wear kidneys down over the years. So when apple fiber works quietly in the background, helping your digestion and steadying your blood sugar, it's actually taking pressure off your kidneys at the same time. Think of it like a gentle broom sweeping through your system, clearing out what doesn't belong and lightening the load your body has to carry. There's more good news hiding inside that apple too. You'll find antioxidants like quercetin, anthocyanins, and chlorogenic acid packed inside. These compounds go to work fighting inflammation and cellular stress, 2 things that quietly damage your body over time if left unchecked. Quercetin especially gets talked about a lot because of how it may support healthy blood pressure. And we already know, keeping your blood pressure steady is one of the kindest things you can do for your kidneys. Here's where I need you to really listen, because this is the mistake almost everyone makes. So many people peel their apples before eating them, thinking they're doing something healthy. But the skin is actually where a huge amount of that fiber and those antioxidants live. When you peel it away, you're tossing out one of the best parts of the whole fruit. Now, I'm not telling you to eat the skin without washing it first. Please wash your apples thoroughly or grab organic when you can, because regular apples can carry pesticide residue on that skin. Never just bite into one straight off the shelf. Let's talk about dried apples for a second, because a lot of folks think they're a smart snack. The truth is, drying apples strips away much of their vitamin C, and it concentrates the natural sugar into something a lot more intense. Many brands make it worse by adding even more sugar on top of that. If you're watching your blood sugar or thinking about your kidneys, dried apples aren't your best bet for a regular snack. Same story with bottled apple juice. It might look healthy sitting on the shelf, but most of that fiber has been stripped away, leaving you with mostly sugar and water. A whole, real apple will always beat a glass of juice when it comes to actually supporting your health. So how do you pick a good one at the store? Grab it and give it a gentle squeeze. You want one that feels firm and solid in your hand, not soft or bruised. The skin should look tight, smooth, and have good color to it. And if you spot one with the stems still attached, that's actually a great sign, since apples with their stems intact tend to stay fresher longer. At the end of the day, it really comes down to this: one whole apple, washed carefully, eaten slowly, skin and all. Sometimes the simplest choice truly is the smartest one you can make for your kidneys. Now we're on to fruit number 3. And this one has a reputation that goes back generations. That tart, deep red little berry your grandmother probably kept in the fridge around the holidays. We're talking about cranberries, and they deserve way more credit than most people give them. Cranberries might be small, but they carry a serious punch when it comes to kidney and urinary tract health. Just like blueberries, they're naturally low in sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. That puts them right in that sweet spot of fruits that go easy on kidneys, that need a gentler approach these days. What really sets cranberries apart is how loaded they are with antioxidants. Inside these little berries, you'll find vitamin C, flavonoids, quercetin, anthocyanins, phenolic acids, and resveratrol. That's already an impressive list, but cranberries have one thing that makes them truly stand out: a group of compounds called proanthocyanidins, or PACs for short. Researchers have taken a real interest in these compounds because they may help stop bacteria from grabbing onto the walls of your urinary tract in the first place. Why does that matter so much? Especially once you're past 60. When bacteria manage to stick around in your urinary tract, they can cause infections that come with burning when you go to the bathroom, needing to go more often, feeling exhausted, and just an overall miserable discomfort. For older adults, a urinary tract infection isn't something to brush off as a minor inconvenience. Left untreated, it can spiral and start affecting your whole body, not just your bladder. Now, I want to be completely honest with you here because this matters. Cranberries may help support urinary tract health, and they may help lower your risk of developing an infection. But let's be clear, they are not a treatment for an infection you already have. If you're already dealing with painful urination, a fever, pain in your back, urine that smells unusual, or you notice blood, please don't try to fix that with fruit or juice. That's your body telling you it's time to call a doctor. No exceptions. Here's where a lot of well-meaning people go wrong. They hear that cranberries support the urinary tract, so they run to the store and grab bottled cranberry juice, drinking it every single day thinking they're doing something great for their health. But here's the catch nobody warns you about. Most bottled cranberry juices are absolutely loaded with added sugar, and too much sugar isn't kind to your blood sugar levels. It isn't kind to your waistline, and over time, it's definitely not what your kidneys are asking for. So what should you actually reach for instead? Fresh or frozen cranberries, eaten in a reasonable amount, are a much smarter choice. Toss a handful into your morning oatmeal, sprinkle some over a salad, or blend them into a smoothie without adding sugar. When you're picking out fresh cranberries at the store, look for ones that feel firm and plump, with a shiny, deep red color. That richer red shade is usually a sign the berries ripened fully and are carrying more of those beneficial plant compounds we talked about. Now let's talk about dried cranberries for a moment, because these need a little extra caution on your part. Most dried cranberries get sweetened during processing to cut down on that natural tartness. Having a small amount every now and then probably won't hurt you. But if you're snacking on them like candy every single day, especially in the evening before bed, you could be taking in a lot more sugar than you realize. And that's exactly the kind of small habit that adds up over time and puts unnecessary strain on your kidney. Fruit number 2 is one you've probably grabbed a handful of 100 times without ever thinking twice about it. Sweet, juicy, and dangerously easy to snack on. We're talking about grapes, and while they're wonderful for your kidneys, this is a fruit where how much you eat matters just as much as the fact that you're eating it at all. Grapes carry a good amount of water along with a solid dose of antioxidants, and that combination is worth paying attention to. When your body stays well hydrated, your kidneys have an easier time doing their job of filtering blood and producing urine, which is a huge part of how your body naturally clears out waste. But here's an important reminder before you go grab a big bowl. If your doctor has ever told you to watch your fluid intake because of kidney disease, heart failure, or swelling in your legs or feet, please don't overload on watery fruits like grapes without checking with them first. Even the healthiest foods still need the right portion. What makes grapes especially interesting is a compound called resveratrol, which researchers have studied closely for its role in fighting inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. You'll find the highest amounts of resveratrol in darker grapes, so reach for red, purple, or black varieties when you can. On top of that, grapes are also packed with flavonoids, catechins, anthocyanins, and proanthocyanidins, all of which may help protect your cells from the kind of damage that builds up quietly over the years. So grapes are far from just a sweet little snack. Eaten the right way, in the right amount, they can genuinely become part of a diet that supports both your heart and your kidneys. Now let's talk honestly about the mistakes people make. Grapes are one of the easiest fruits in the world to overeat. You sit down in front of the television, set a bowl beside you, and somehow the whole thing disappears before the show is even over. If you're watching your blood sugar, that habit can sneak up on you fast. And please remember, raisins are not the same thing as fresh grapes. Once grapes are dried, the water disappears and the sugar becomes far more concentrated, making it even easier to overdo it. The same goes for grape jelly, grape jam, and bottled grape juice, which are often loaded with added sugar. Washing your grapes really matters too. Rinse them thoroughly under running water, or soak them briefly and rinse again, especially if they aren't organic. When shopping, look for grapes that feel firm and plump with good, even color, and stems that are still green and flexible. Grapes don't continue ripening once they're picked, so choose ones that already look ready to eat. And don't overlook the seeds if your grapes have them. They actually carry some antioxidants of their own, though not everyone enjoys chewing through them. If you're considering a grapeseed extract supplement, talk to your doctor first, especially if you take blood thinners like aspirin or warfarin. When it comes to grapes, keep this simple truth in mind. Fresh is always better, and moderation is always smarter. And here we are, fruit number 1, the one I've been saving for last because it might just surprise you the most. Most people picture watermelon and think summer picnics, backyard barbecues, and nothing more. But there is so much more going on inside that juicy red fruit than just a refreshing treat. And once you hear this, you will never look at watermelon the same way again. Let's start with the obvious. Watermelon is packed with water, and that gentle hydration can really support your body's natural process of producing urine and flushing out waste. Here's something worth thinking about if you're over 60. Your thirst signals do not work the way they used to. Many older adults go through the entire day barely drinking any water and never even notice it happening. That is exactly why water-rich foods like watermelon can become such a valuable part of your daily routine. Of course, if your doctor has ever told you to watch your fluid intake or your potassium levels, please check with them first before loading up on watermelon. Now here is something a lot of people do not know. Watermelon is naturally low in oxalates, and oxalates are one of the compounds linked to certain types of kidney stones. So if kidney stones are something you worry about, watermelon may genuinely be a gentler choice compared to many other foods out there. That deep red color is not just for show either. It comes from lycopene, the same powerful antioxidant found in tomatoes, and it may help your body fight off oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 things that quietly damage your cells over time. On top of that, watermelon contains citrulline, an amino acid that helps your body produce arginine, which then supports something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and allows blood to flow more smoothly. And steady blood flow is exactly what your kidneys need to keep doing their job well. Let's be honest about the biggest mistake people make with watermelon, and that is eating way too much, especially late at night. All that water means more trips to the bathroom, and if you are managing your blood sugar, overdoing it in one sitting is never a smart move. So keep it simple. Enjoy a moderate portion, choose one that ripened naturally, and always wash the outside before you cut into it, since the knife carries whatever is on that rind straight into the fruit you eat. Look for a creamy yellow spot underneath. Pick one that feels heavy for its size, and skip any with deep cracks or soft spots. You do not need to overthink this. Just choose it wisely and enjoy it the right way. So there you have it. 5 simple fruits: blueberries, apples, cranberries, grapes, and watermelon that may gently support your kidneys while you sleep. Remember, these fruits are not magic cures, but small daily choices really do add up. Don't wait for swollen feet, tiredness, or rising blood pressure to remind you that your kidneys need care. Start tonight with one better choice: 1 washed apple, 1 small handful of berries, 1 moment of awareness. Your kidneys have worked quietly for you your whole life. Now it's your turn to look after them. If you want to keep learning simple ways to protect your health after 60, don't stop here. Tap on the next video waiting for you right now, and let's keep taking care of you together.